what's up, guys?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Grin podcast. My name's Amanda.
My name's Hannah.
And I'm Shayla.
And I feel like we haven't recorded in a while because we kind of haven't, like together at least, because for the past few weeks we've done solo episodes.
It's been a hot second.
Which were pretty cool. The solo episodes we did, if you didn't catch them, they were all like less than 15 minutes, really quick, just kind of get to know us and what's going on right now. So if you haven't checked those out, please do. Yeah, they were fun.
I had a lot of fun doing mine. I was like a little nervous, don't get me wrong. I mean, you guys know this, but I was definitely really, really like eeked about it. I don't know. I just like the comfort of having another person there to talk to, but
I know, that's why.
But it ended up really nice. I loved y'all's episodes. They were so good.
Yeah, I liked listening to everyone's.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing that you just said is why, because me and Hannah are both in Athens right now, and Shayla's at home, and so that's why I was like, Hannah, come over and we'll record together. So
we had some technical difficulties,
as always,
like we always do, but we worked it out. So today, Amanda and I are officially graduated.
Wow. I'm emo.
So
emo, I can't.
So today we're gonna be, I guess, just kind of like recapping a little bit of our college experience and giving advice to our freshman selves and just talking about our experience at UGA. We recently took graduation pics, which was really exciting, especially considering we had to reschedule those like so 4 or 5 times.
How many times officially? Because what was the first date?
Well, originally we were supposed to take them April 5th. Which was over a month ago, and then we initially rescheduled it to be later in April because that's like I pushed it later to April because that was when we were only on the 2-week suspension, so there was the thought that like maybe we would go back to school. And then when it got announced that we weren't going back, then I was like, well, let's just do it in May. And then we scheduled it to be May 8th, which was supposed to be our original graduation date. And we were like, oh, this will be perfect because we took pictures with 2 of our other friends, Cara and Jessica, and we were like, this will be an amazing opportunity for us to like, celebrate graduation. Yeah. And then the weather was absolute shite. So
bad.
We rescheduled once again.
Well, at first we rescheduled to that day, and then on the 8th, we were like, okay, instead of the afternoon, we'll just do it in the morning. And then we rescheduled again because of the weather. And then we took our photos, which at first I was skeptical about taking them in the morning because I was like, I thought it was going to be too bright. I just didn't know. But it actually worked out perfectly. Like, the lighting was great.
I love taking pictures in the morning. Like, whenever I do, like, a shoot or something, I always prefer to do it in the morning just because the lighting is, like, less harsh. But, I mean, obviously, like, a downside is having to wake up so early. Like, Jessica and I took our solo pics before we took group pics with the rest of the group. So she and I woke up at, like, 7. But I honestly was not even tired. I was so proud of myself. I like woke up and I was ready to go. I had no bags under my eyes. Well, I was like, I am born ready for this.
Whenever I'm waking up for something that's like good, like something fun.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I don't care about waking up.
It's like different than like waking up for work or class. Like obviously you're gonna be exhausted.
Where I like wake up and want to kill myself.
We made like quite a day out of it though. Like we went to take the pictures. We went and got ramen and like you got your melon mushroom. We had a cute little picnic. I got the best
pizza ever.
It really did look so good. Then we had a cute little picnic on North Campus and it was so much fun. Honestly, I was like living my best life, just sitting out in the sun. Y'all, I have like little sunburns on my feet right now. I'm not even kidding. Like my skin is
from your no-show socks. Like if you have a tan line from your no-show socks.
Yeah, I'm like not even kidding. Yes, I do.
That was so fun though.
Socks too.
I've tried to wear no-show socks so many times, but they always like end up falling off, and I'm like, what is the point of these?
I have some that are like they're like half no-shows. Yes. I don't know, but they stay on. They're really good.
Anywho.
And then yesterday after we had our little picnic, Shayla went home and so did Cara and Jessica, but then good old Amanda and I stayed in Athens and she came over. we watched Vanderpump Rules and then Something Borrowed, which I had seen before. And like Amanda was convinced she had seen the movie until it was about to be over.
Yeah.
And then
Is
she
this
was
the
like,
one that
wait,
told
I
you
don't.
we weren't gonna watch yesterday. I was like, this is not
Yeah.
okay, no.
She like just put it on.
I put it on because I was like, I really want to see this because I remember seeing it once before, and there's a lot of tea that goes
So
down.
much
Okay,
tea.
but and
So
Hannah,
much tea.
Hannah did what she always does during shows and movies. It's like the most. I don't know. She always like dramatic. She covers her face with her hands and stuff, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And it's just so funny to watch. But I had seen the beginning of this movie, but I was thinking about the ending of another, and so I remember the ending of another movie. I think it's like I don't know. I think it's like the same actress or something. But I just remember it being like a really shitty movie, and I was like, I don't want to watch this.
But it was a good movie, wasn't
No,
it?
but that's why.
It's
That's why
like
when we were
there's just,
watching
like-
this, I was like,
Yeah, it kind of makes
Well,
you
that's
sad.
why I was
it's
thinking
kind
about
of
the wrong movie.
it's kind of fucked,
Yeah.
honestly. Like it's
well, that's
yeah.
why when we were watching it, I was like, wait, this actually is a good movie because it was a different one, so it worked out.
Gosh,
Yeah,
I can't
so
believe
we
started
ended up
the day out with watching The Hangover, and then watching. You guys ended with that.
I watched.
After I left.
So this was the sequence of events. We watched The Hangover Part 2. Then we watched John Tucker Must Die. Then we took a break for Vanderpump Rules, and then we watched Something Borrowed. And then I finished the night with an episode of One Tree Hill. So it was just a
Beautiful.
great mix of shows. But Shayla, did you watch Vanderpump Rules last night?
I didn't. I was so tired. I like went to bed at like 10 last night. Forgot Vanderpump was even on. So I need to watch it after we finish recording this. Was it good? Was it steeping with tea?
There was some
good.
tea, honestly, because I feel like this season has been like very tame. There hasn't been like a lot of drama, but there was definitely like some drama last night. Like there's that whole love triangle going on between like Brett, Max, and Dana,
Ew.
and like yeah, the guys like
They're both
They're
losers.
just,
The
like,
guys-
cringe. Oh, it's so bad.
the guys like get into it at a dinner, and like they're honestly like kind of mean to her, and it's kind of like embarrassing for her. And then there's like all this drama that goes down about a pool party because Jax and Brittany host a pool party, and then Jax uninvites Tom Sandoval, and Sandoval and Ariana are like, well, let's throw our own. So then they
Stop.
throw it the same day, and like
Seems like a middle school. Like,
Jax gets
thing.
like really mad. He's like 40 years old, but he's acting like he's 12, and he like gets really upset about it. But Tom and Ariana's pool party is like way more fun, and
The
then
tea.
only like
oh my god, I love it.
only,
when
like,
stuff like that happens.
only 6 people show up to Tom and to Jackson Brittany's, and I don't know, like some stuff goes down. But then next week is the season finale, so I'm excited to see what happens. And then recently, actually, I saw that they just filmed the reunion.
Wasn't it like
but
remotely
they
all through?
yeah
Zoom?
they had to do it over. They had to do it through Zoom. So
God, I just love.
I love Vanderpump Rules
Yeah,
so much.
but I also love reunion episodes more than anything, y'all, because there's just so much tea, so much drama,
And you
I
get updated on like more recent,
Exactly.
like what's been going on, like if they're still friends or if the beef is still
I know.
going.
And Andy,
So it's great.
I just love seeing Andy. Love
He's
him.
great, and his baby's adorable.
Cute.
I guess like let's just briefly talk about what we have coming up.
Yeah.
I guess-
whole lot of nothing. No.
Yeah, honestly, not much. But
Well, talk about the beach.
my birthday. Well, I guess first, my birthday is less than a week away. It is Tuesday, May
yeah.
19th, which I am very excited about. I will be 22, and I always try and go like all out for my birthday, and I usually plan like a very elaborate party, but
And I've missed it every year that I've known Hannah
Yeah.
because I've been like gone
Yeah.
somewhere.
Every
so
year-
this is the year that I finally get to be here.
every year you're gone to California, and then this year freaking Shayla is gonna be
I'm
gone to
so
California.
sorry.
So it's like
Oh my God.
California always takes one of my
I
best
feel
friends
so
on my
bad 'cause
birthday.
I didn't get to go to your birthday last year because I was at Hangout. But I mean, like, I thought
Yeah.
because we were doing this trip that it was going to be fine that I wasn't there the actual day. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, it's whatever. Like, I'm going to spend the entire week with her. Like, I'm going to go do this thing in California. But then I felt so bad. I was like, oh, shoot, maybe I should have, like, planned better.
Well, talk about what's going on now.
Yeah, so about the trip, I was gonna tell you this. Well, I don't know when I was gonna tell you this because I'm still figuring it out. But my dad texted me and said that, actually, let me read the text message. He said that the island caretaker just emailed him and that our visit is on hold for now because the Florida governor only allows family members with maybe one guest to travel to vacation rentals at this time. Me bringing all of you guys are too many people, but he said things are changing day by day, so who knows for sure. He said apparently the caretaker just realized that I was bringing 3 friends and that it wasn't just going to be me and my family, and he said that he was really sorry. So now it's kind of up in the air again.
Dude, I seriously thought we were going and like just updating everyone on like what we were doing, and then you were like breaking the news, and I was like, wait, let me like pay more attention to what she's saying.
And like, of course I get it. Of course I get it. But it's kind of like you can bring family members. But what if she was like, oh, I'm sure he means immediate family members.
This is my thing is like, I have 3 people in my family. And if they're saying that I can travel with my family, with like my immediate family, which would literally just be me and my parents, and then 1 friend, that's 4 people. So I don't understand what the difference is between 4 people going and 4 people going.
I think because they assume with your immediate family, you've been in the same place.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not just like
together.
Random people from all over. But I was saying that we should tell the island caretaker that we're all roommates.
Could do that.
It's kind of true. Me and Cara live down the hall from each other, and you guys do live together. Look, I get it all, but it's just a little like, it's disappointing.
Yeah. Well, right now it's just a matter of like, if they go into phase 2, then it means we're going to be able to like travel to the condo. But if they don't, then I don't know if it's going to happen. But I'm like going home this weekend to like, get stuff ready for this thing that we're doing for my birthday. And I'm going to talk to my dad more in person about it because I don't know, like, I just refuse to take no as an answer.
I guess we just have to play it day by day.
We have to play it day by day, and I was talking to Amanda about this, and, like, worst case scenario is, like, I own this condo, so, like, the nice thing is we can go whenever we want.
Yeah.
So, like, if we can't go at the end of May, we can just plan to go, like, maybe probably a week in June when, like, they start to get into phase 2 and more stuff opens up.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah, well, I mean.
But the point is, don't plan anything else yet, guys, because I'm still hoping that we get to go. So let's just keep an open mind and, like, manifest that we're going to be going on this trip because I've been looking forward to it for, like, a week now.
Well, I know me and Hannah last night, we were talking the whole time. We were just like, we're going to do this, and we're going to bring this and this, and now it's just like, nope.
Well, I'm really excited for all of us to get together this Saturday also for your, like, little birthday picnic.
I'm doing, like, a picnic in Atlanta with some of my close friends, and I'm making like a little vegan cheese board, and Amanda's gonna make cocktails, and
love it.
It's gonna be really cute and
I'm excited because
fun.
like doing something as simple as that, just like having a few close friends and doing like a picnic, that's so fun.
Yeah,
and I wish we had been doing that more often.
Yeah,
like,
for
just
sure.
Going to North Campus and doing stuff, but. So Shayla, tell us about the California trip because that's all we said, and people might be like, "What?
They're like, is this bitch just like going for shits?" No. So basically, I have this friend, Austin, and he goes to Stanford, and we've mentioned him before, and he left his car on campus in California while he was, like, in Paris before this whole corona thing happened, and he had previously thought that he was going to be back for the rest of the semester, but he and, everyone else there were, like, sent home, and so he's going to be home until September and doesn't want to leave his car there for so long. And, so basically his bitch, what?
I'm so
She's
sorry.
Just staring at her eyelashes.
Because they're freaking poking me in the eye, and I can't see anything, and my eyes are watering.
She's got a low
hanger.
She's got a low hanger.
Oh my god, it's so bad, you guys. I'm supposed to be getting these fixed soon, but they're really killing me. Continue. Okay. Just ignore me.
Anyways,
my eyes are like watering.
Austin was like, hey, do you think you would want to come to California with me? We would fly there, be super, super cautious flying there, which, like, that was initially, like, our first concern. Go to Stanford and drive his car all the way back to Georgia. together. And
Road trip.
That is going to be one hell of a road trip. And so basically my mom was like, it's fine. You guys go right ahead and do it. And so, yeah. So we leave Sunday morning. Like, we depart at 8:30 Sunday morning. And then get to California at, like, 10:30. Like, that time. So, and then from there, we're going to be driving back to Arizona to go see a friend. And then possibly stopping in Texas or Oklahoma to stay there for a night just to rest a little bit. And then go straight to the beach right after that for our friend's 21st.
Hopefully.
And then straight...
are you going to the beach another time?
She's going to, like, St. Augustine.
So, like, literally, as soon as Austin and I are, like, driving back home, like, we decided to change our route and go straight to the beach and then drive back, like, home. And then I would be going to the beach with y'all. So I would be gone for, like, 2 straight weeks from home. Just, like, bouncing.
Okay, world traveler.
This is not safe. I'm, like,
Shayla's
really...
like, pandemic who?
Coronavirus.
I'm
what?
sorry. I'm like, I was totally cool this entire trip. And then, honestly, part of me was, like, losing my mind a little bit. And also, Austin and I are going to be in the car together literally for so long. Just the two of us, like, not leaving it at all. And then the beach, if I'm going with y'all, like, it's literally the people I've been with for... like, the past, like, couple months. Like, we've all been together. But regardless, I'm excited. Never been to that many states before, so...
No one accepts that this trip is not happening, because it will.
No. Your beach trip?
Yeah. We're going...
it's happening.
We're gonna make it happen. I wasn't even gonna tell y'all. Like, I wasn't even gonna say anything, because that's how much I refuse to accept the fact that this may not happen.
It's gotta happen at some point.
Yeah, when I heard you talking, I was like, wait, where is she going with this? Like, what is she saying? I genuinely did not know this was going on.
Also, like, my dad has a tendency to, like, really over-exaggerate things, and, like, he always, like, makes it seem like worst case scenario, which I understand, like, a lot of things are having to be canceled right now, but, like, knock on wood that this happens.
I'm knocking for you. I'm knocking on my desk.
Some ASMR.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I just bought, like, a $90 bathing suit for this.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my gosh, crying for everyone.
Look, money's well spent, though. I love
first world problems. My triangle, my expensive bikini.
That leads into our first sponsor of the day.
We wish.
Anyway, so that's the foreseeable future. As for me, I'm just kind of following along.
You just beat bopping around.
Beach plans. I'm just beat bopping around. I'm figuring out.
Yeah, I mean, what are y'all like? What do y'all have? Do y'all have anything like planned? Like after Shayla, after you get back from this like trip, like St. Augustine, besides like my beach trip, do you have any other plans this summer?
Well, here's the thing. Like, my mom had to cancel like our big beach trip in like the end of June, and so we're not doing that anymore because she thought this was going to last longer. I wanted to do something for my 21st, but I don't know if that's going to happen anymore.
I feel like places will be open and stuff. Like, I don't know if we would really be able to travel, but like places in Georgia would be open.
More of like any sort of plans I have for the summer are more like up in the air. Like, I literally, Austin and I committed to like a 3-day beach trip, like when we drive back from California, just like spur of the moment kind of thing. So everything's really up in the air. I just really want to do something for my 21st, but
yeah, well, nothing for me. It sucks because this year I wanted my birthday to be like a big thing because 23 on the 23rd, I like also finished school that day, and like originally I was like, it'd be so fun to do like a long weekend, or like right as like the summer started, a few of us could go to like Charleston or do something. Like, I've always wanted to go there, or even just like Savannah, or do something. And my birthday always falls in like during finals, and then plus all this stuff going on, obviously that couldn't happen. And Emily was actually talking to me earlier, and she's like, oh, we could do like some kind of a joint birthday party, because her birthday's in October and like mine was in April, and she was like, oh, we should like do something to celebrate like once things calm down. And so I don't know, we might try and like
that'd be a lot of fun,
but really nothing serious. I mean, another group of my friends invited me plus one to we're trying to figure out plans to go to Destin for the 4th. So Hannah's gonna come to that. Nothing's planned yet for that, but That's kind of it.
So it sounds like if we need to go like a week or two later to the beach, we could make that work.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I just, like, I'm eager to go.
Yes.
'cause
No, I'm
excited,
eager to go
you know?
too. I want this to be like a birthday trip, and like it loses the purpose a bit more if like we're planning it in like the middle of June and
No,
my
I
birthday
know.
is like at the end of May.
Yeah. I mean, mine was a month ago, so yeah.
Amanda's birthday is like in April and she celebrates it in like August.
So what?
I mean, graduation was supposed to be in
That is
May, and it's
true.
going to be in October, so
That is
we're
true.
tea.
I'm so excited to see these pictures, you guys.
I'm so excited.
Same.
They look so good.
They looked
look so
amazing on the
good.
camera. I was like, can you just send me these? Like, that's fine with me.
Yeah. No, it was a really great experience. I loved it.
It, like, didn't take a while either.
No.
Because
Yeah.
I was like, ugh, this is going to, like, she's going to have us pose all these ways and that, but it was so easy, and it went by, and it was really
Yeah.
fun, and, like, they all looked great. I'm sure they're going to look good.
Yeah, so I felt like it was very, very much worth the time and experience, but I guess we should like segue
Yeah.
into our topic.
My mom actually gave me the idea, because I guess one of our neighbors, their daughter is a high school senior. And I don't remember exactly what she was telling me, but it was either like she doesn't know what she wants to do about school, or if she wants to take like a gap year, she might be doing that, or if she just wants to work, whatever. And so my mom was like, that would be interesting if you guys talked about like, if you were in that position, a high school senior, what would you tell yourself now? You know, to someone like her who's like worrying and thinks that this is the biggest life decision ever, which it is a big life decision, but it's nothing you can't change or make a different decision. And so I thought that was really interesting because obviously all of us from the beginning of college, like especially senior year of high school, what we thought was going to happen, freshman year, even what we thought was going to happen then to now, nothing panned out how we thought. So, I mean, like, Hannah, what would you tell your, I guess, 18-year-old self, high school senior, you know, what was going through your head around then?
I feel like, well, for like structural purposes, I feel like maybe we could like go around and say like 5 things.
Sure, yeah.
And that would be like good. And then maybe just like add on like some of our own personal experiences.
Yeah.
I would say the first thing is I did this and I'm very grateful that I did, and I feel like not as many incoming freshmen do it. If you're going to an in-state school with a bunch of your friends from high school, definitely make the effort to make other friends. And I don't think that it's a bad thing necessarily to like consider your friends from high school like still your closest friends to this day. Like, I mean, I think that's awesome. Like, that was not my personal experience, but I think that a lot of the time when you sort of solely rely on your friend group from high school when you're starting out, it really like kind of like inhibits your growth, and like you aren't like taking as many chances or like going for as many experiences on your own, sort of doing your own thing because you're relying on like these other people. So like I joined my like own sorority. I only knew like one other person. None of my friends from high school joined the same sorority as me, and like I wasn't really close with a lot of people coming to UGA with me. Like, I definitely considered them friends of mine, but I like roomed with a girl from my high school. That did not turn out well. So I mean, it's all just about like, I understand coming to like a school and being nervous about meeting people, but put yourself out there more than you think that you should, and I really do think that it'll pay off. So like, I guess bottom line is like branch out and like make more of an effort to like make more friends your freshman year besides just the friends you have from high school.
Yeah. Did you want to say the other ones, or should we go around?
I guess let's
each
like
one?
just go around.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Because, like, as far as my situation, I've mentioned this before, I started off at Auburn, and then I quickly transferred because I realized it wasn't for me. And it's funny because now, like, some of my closest friends are from my high school, but I mean, we'll all say we weren't friends in high school. It all kind of worked because at the time that a lot of us ended up transferring to UGA, and me and Emily had gotten close after freshman year when both of us kind of realized, like, oh, we don't like our schools, and we just kind of bonded over that and some other things. And so then when we finally were all at UGA together, we just had something in common, and that's kind of when we became friends. But yeah, as far as like branching out, I agree with that, because when I went to Auburn, I knew some people, but not a ton of people. You know, I joined my sorority, and it was like, yeah, like one person that I knew who was in it. And then I kind of had to put myself out there as far as like meeting new people. And then especially when I transferred, I was like, I'm either gonna, you know, stick to the same thing I know and not grow at all, or I'm gonna like branch out. And so, you know, I found a job and made some of my closest friends ever, obviously, like you guys and Cara and Jessica. And then, you know, other things. But I think going off of that, my biggest advice would be, like, don't think you know what's going to happen. Don't try and plan things out. Don't picture the future too much, because it's all going to change. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be for the better. There are going to be ups and downs, but you can't predict the future. And it's just, nothing's going to really work out how you thought in your head, and that's okay.
Also, one thing I do want to add quickly is, like, in terms of, like, when I say branching out and stuff, like, one thing that I did was, like, I definitely distanced myself from a lot of people from high school, but one thing that I didn't do that I wish that I did was I wish that I was more involved. Like, I wish that I made more of an effort to, like, join clubs or, like, do stuff related to my major, because I knew what I wanted to major in, and I've known what career I've wanted to go into for quite some time. But, like, really all I did was join a sorority, and that kind of took up most of my life. But there are, like, other friends that I had that, like, got really involved in, like, all of these other clubs on campus, and I just never really did. But I wish that I did, because I feel like it would have given me much more of an opportunity to, like, meet more people. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I just kind of thought, like, Greek life was going to be it for me, and, like, I was just going to have that and, like, the few friends that I had from high school. And, like, I'll touch more on it when we go back around, but I kind of, like, struggled with that, because then I kind of felt like I didn't really have either at one point, and I kind of felt super alone. So I wish that I made more of a conscious effort to, like, branch out and get more involved on campus.
For me, I would definitely say that, I mean, I also transferred into UGA. Like, there was nothing ever. I started out at UNG, and, like, I was supposed to originally go to Kennesaw, and I knew I just, like, did not like the vibe there at all, and I hated it, and I honestly was not ready to, like, go to college quite yet. So I started out there, and, like, I did a fine job, like, making friends, but I wasn't overly, like, active and, like, making those kinds of friends. Like, I literally only made them because they sat next to me in class or whatever. And I did stick to, like, literally 3 friends that I had in high school. And, like, my first freshman and sophomore year, like, I was never friends with anyone else, or, like, never really did anything. And, like you said, Amanda, how you're friends with, like, how your closest friends now are, like, some people you were never friends with in high school. I can also relate to that. But then when I even transferred to UGA, like, throughout my entire college career, like, so far, I still never pictured myself, like, joining a sorority to, like, make friends or anything. I just knew it, like, wasn't for me. And, like, I don't know, it's different than, like, where you guys came from. Like, I know that you finished, like, all 4 years, Hannah, and then Amanda, you dropped, like, your last year. It was just, like, it's different for everyone, but I knew that that's definitely not what I wanted to do in college.
Yeah, I mean, Greek life is definitely not for
yeah,
everyone.
Absolutely not.
It was something that I thought, like, I was supposed to do, for sure.
Yeah, and then, honestly, like, get a job. Like, what you said, Amanda, like, that American Threads, like, I'm stumbling on my words, that literally helped me meet some of y'all. Like, oh my goodness, I'm so thankful for that job because of that. Honestly,
it is crazy. Yeah. Like, you might think, like, ugh, I don't want a job in college, but, like,
get a job.
For me, especially when I transferred, like, I wasn't back in the sorority right away, and, like, having the job was the best thing, because I worked with a bunch of girls who were just like me. I mean, we're working in a clothing store, and literally the girls that used to work there, still keep in touch with them, best friends. They live in Atlanta now, and then, like, you guys and stuff. So that's some advice.
Like, for
definitely
sure,
try and get a job that is very you, whether that's working in, like, you know, a restaurant you like, or a store you like, or just something that involves you with people who like the same things as you.
Another thing I definitely want to, like, point out, obviously everyone's little, like, school careers, like, go differently, and nothing's expected, but focus on your schoolwork, because it, like, helps you out so much more in, like, semesters that are rough semesters. Like, don't just slack off. Like, believe me, I've, like, been there, done that. Like, there are some semesters where I wish I would have tried just a little bit harder in a class just to boost my GPA, because I never knew that the next semester was going to be a complete horror show for me. So, I mean, that's just definitely a piece of advice. Like, just work a little bit harder. You don't have to go out every single weekend, but also go out. Have fun.
Yeah, like, you don't need to be, like, stuck in the library all the time and, like, freaking out. But
balance.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it with anything in life. Like, exactly what you said. When I first transferred, I had a really bad semester with, like, adjusting to everything and just, like, not being very happy. I did not care about school. I never went to class. And it was my worst semester. Like, I think I got something like a 2.7, 2.8, which is, like, it was probably even lower than that, but it was not good. And so the next semester I was like, okay, I need to, like, buckle down. Like, I can't do this again. So I gave myself that one semester to, like, I let it go. I didn't beat myself up about it. I was like, I did that and I can't change it, but let's just do the best I can now. And so I really, picked it up after that. But yeah, it's all about balance.
Yeah.
I guess my next piece of advice is that it's so, like, this sounds so cheesy, but it's so true. It's okay to not be okay and to feel lost. I feel like our society and the way that a lot of us are raised is that we are expected to go to college and that we are, kind of supposed to have an idea of what we want to do for the rest of our lives, like, right when we're, like, 18 and about to, like, start our, like, further our education and to earn a degree, like an undergraduate degree. But I, like, knew from a very early age what I wanted to do, and I'm, like, a planner. Like, I really do, like, I mean, I do not like surprises. Like, I like having, like, a sense of, like, purpose and, like, feeling just reassured about my decision. And so, like, I applied to all of my, like, chosen schools early. I got into every school that I applied to early. Like, I knew very early on where I was going to go and, like, what I wanted to do. But for my, like, first 2 years of college, I, like, did not have a good experience, and that's why it's kind of, like, hard for me, because I am going to miss this part of my life, I know, but I also am, like, so excited for what's to come, because I know that every single, like, moment in my life, like high school, college, I feel like I kind of have, like, a bittersweet feeling towards it, because some people are like, these are the best years of my life, and I have never gotten to a point to where I feel like this is it for me. Like, I always feel like something better is coming. So, I mean, I feel like I really struggled my first 2 years, and I didn't take as many chances, and I didn't take, like, I took a lot of things for granted. And, for that, there are, like, experiences that I missed out on because I just was, like, not really doing well in certain aspects of my life, but I was, like, trying to save face, and I was trying to make it seem like everything was okay, and I just really wasn't happy, and I was making myself unhappy, most of the time, just because I wasn't doing well in school. I wasn't doing well in, like, a lot of personal relationships. I was really struggling with the fact that my parents had sold my childhood home, and I, like, didn't really consider Athens a home, and I just felt, like, really lost. And honestly, it took me about a year to actually, like, admit what I was going through and to, like, accept that this is where I was at. And I feel like if you are someone that's going through that, like, you are only going to suffer more the more you continue to try and suppress it. So, like, my biggest piece of advice, like, if you're going through something in your life, like, whether it be mental health or just problems that you're having academically or with your friends, like, whether or not you feel alone, there is someone in your life that cares, and there's someone that's going to be there for you. So you really just need to, like, own up to what's going on, reach out to that person, and as soon as you start to accept it, you kind of just feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. And I really regret that it took me so long to, like, seek help, and once I did, my last 2 years of college were just completely different in the best way possible. So
yeah, I agree. And, like, I'm, like, trying to collect my thoughts.
I just, like, came out with, like, so much,
you just,
and I was like,
really hit that. I'm, like, thinking, like, oh, what do I
What the hell do I reply with?
Yeah, and I mean, I think going off of, like, you know, being happy and stuff like that, definitely for me, is, I think for a long time, like, since high school, not that I was being someone I wasn't, or, like, trying to be something that I wasn't, but I think to a certain degree, everyone feels like they have to be a certain person and act a certain way and go through with things that they said they were going to go through. And, like, I think I realized as soon as you ditch all that and you really start to be yourself and not care about what other people think. Again, this is so cliche, but, like, I have never been happier until I just really started being myself. And it was even until recently that I was like, oh, I have to, like, be in a sorority and go to all these parties and do this. And not that I didn't like being in a sorority. I loved it. I had a great time rushing, like, freshman year. I reaffiliated when I got to UGA because I really wanted to, and I really loved it. But it got to a certain point where I was like, I'm feeling like that was a chapter I had in my life, and it was great, but that's over now. And so I made the decision I went early alum because so I didn't necessarily drop, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. But, like, I realized I am not enjoying going to these things anymore. Why should I force myself to do it? And I don't know. My relationships started getting better with my friends when I was just like, I'm not going to do things I don't want to anymore. I'm not going to try and act a certain way to impress guys or, like, to impress other girls, you know, and think that I should be, like, cool or do something like this. And yeah, I mean, the last couple of years of school, the people I surrounded myself have really made the biggest difference.
Yeah,
so.
I felt that with, like, trying to impress other girls. I'm like, but why? Why was I, like, spending so much time trying to impress someone I'm not even friends with?
It's so natural for girls to do that.
It's just so bad.
I was like, for, like, the first 2 years, I was, like, really ashamed to be, like, to just, like, be completely myself, because initially when I started doing this whole thing with, like, social media, like, if you know me now, you know that I'm very into like my Instagram, and like I really like to, you know, quote unquote, I guess, like, do the most for a picture. I, like, love finding, like, creativity and, like, photography and, like, posting stuff. Like, I love personally consuming content and, like, putting content out there for other people to consume. And, like, people, like, at first gave me, like, a lot of flack for it, and I was, like, super embarrassed because I was like, I don't want people or guys to think that I'm too much because, like, they see me on social media. But then people that knew me from social media and then actually met me in person, like, I remember this vividly, like, happening, especially when I studied abroad, because I studied abroad with a lot of people that just knew me from Instagram. But then when they actually met me in person, they were like, you are such a down-to-earth person. Like, you are, like, so much more than your pictures. And, like, people would just give me, like, so much crap, and I would be, like, too embarrassed to, like, post stuff or to, like, take certain pictures. But now I literally just, like, post what I want and I do what I want. And, like, the way that my Instagram is, like, I love how it is, and I feel, like, completely 100% comfortable with what I'm putting out there because it just feels authentically me.
Yeah, and, like, as you should. And I think people are so afraid of things that are different or things that stand out. So when they see someone who is very into their social media and they're making it a point to make it something, I think people get, one, jealous because they're like, well, I want that.
Exactly.
And then, two, I think people are, again, scared of something that's different.
Like, who
so
wouldn't
like,
want that?
Oh, that's not what I do.
Who literally wouldn't want that?
Yeah,
Everyone and their mother is trying to, like, do that. And, like, they're just shoved in this little box, and they just can't get out of there. Like, I can't.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily mean, like, I want to be an Instagram influencer. I want to be like Kylie Jenner. That's not at all what it means, because I did the same thing with my social media, but if you compare, like, mine and Hannah's, they're very different. So different. But I started posting more stuff that made me happy, like, things that I liked. I was so caught up in likes. I was so caught up in, like, oh, I have to post a picture of the pool, or, like, something from, like, a party or rush, and then people are gonna like it. And now I literally will post pictures of clouds, and I'm so happy, you know, literally, and like trees, and I'm literally the happiest I've ever been.
It's like so cute. It's like your Instagram reminds me of Pinterest. Hannah, yours reminds me of just a cohesive, beautiful board. I'm just trying to reinvent mine into my Tumblr feed. I'm not
Shayla,
even
let's
kidding.
be honest, yours is, like, the coolest thing ever.
No, I'm literally
Shayla's
trying to
Tumblr.
reinvent it into just a Tumblr feed because I was so invested in Tumblr. Like, gosh, I can't. And that's what I love about the three
they're
of us
all
now.
different yeah, they're all very different vibes, I think, but we post what we like and it's made us happy.
I feel like, you know, the whole influencer thing, like it does get like it does get a lot of criticism because, I mean, obviously, yes, there are a lot of very disingenuous people who are influencers and like people that are trying to like make a living off of, you know, brand deals and posting like stuff on Instagram and YouTube. Like a lot of them are like self-absorbed and like kind of live in their own bubble. And like, yeah, to an extent, I might be like that. Like I try and live a very healthy lifestyle. Like I work out, I'm healthy. Like I've gotten to a point to where I'm very like pleased with the way that my body looks and like I feel like really comfortable in myself. So therefore like you see more of that in what I'm posting. But at the same time, like in the back of my mind, like I know that like the friends that I have and the people that really know me know that I'm so much more than this, and that the people that know me know that I'm not like just an airhead that enjoys posting like pretty pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, I definitely used to.
Sometimes
You're good.
Sometimes I like. I was just gonna say like sometimes I do get caught up in the criticism. It's like it's only natural because like there's so much negativity nowadays, but like. At the end of the day, like I'll always like talk to Shayla and be like, is it weird if I post this, or like does this look bad? And like she'll always be like, if you like it, like that's all that matters.
Like who gives a shit about what
honestly.
You post? Like it is not what like it's for me. Like I'm literally not posting.
Yeah, it's for your own self, and it's for the people who also enjoy the same things as you. It's the same thing as this podcast. Like if you don't like it, if you don't like us, don't listen to it. That's fine. But we have gotten from people who do listen to it and do like us, and you know, even if they've only listened to like 2 episodes, like I don't know, it's all about like, and they like it, so that's all that matters. Like, we're not trying to like tailor to the masses and like make
the masses.
We're just doing what we like, and people who also like it will enjoy it.
Like it makes our day when like, you know, a few people reach out to us and say that they like an episode, or that they say that they like something that they said. Or you know what I like even more is when someone says that they resonate with what we say, because a lot of people like are either too ashamed to like admit how they feel, and they think that they're alone, and then they hear that someone else is going through the same thing or feels the same way, and it just really makes an impact on them. And you know what I love is like when I post a picture and someone tells me they like my outfit, like, you know, like I like that. Like if I'm posting something and I look good and someone tells me that they really like my outfit and that they want to try something like that, I'm like, you know what, good, I'm glad you got something out of this.
Like, go for it.
It's literally as simple as that. And I think the takeaway from this,
we kind of went on a tangent,
no, but it's so good.
It all like college social media is such a big part of like our college experience.
Yeah,
so like it really does, like
we met through social media.
Yeah, like it really does play a big part. Like,
but I think the takeaway from this is that it's like, don't care so much about what people think. And I don't mean be ignorant and say fuck everyone, like I'm gonna do what I want. Don't be like an asshole, but you know, take everything with a grain of salt and do what makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
No,
you know,
amen.
And it's just like
ya.
Yeah, like do what makes you happy, be social, branch out, have friends, like, but do it with how you want to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I guess if we're tying this back all into like what we would tell our freshman year selves, like, or going into college selves, literally don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like I can't even, literally just thinking back to freshman year me and like looking on social media and just wanting to relate so hard and wanting to be so tiny and to be posting all these cute pictures and to be going on all these like expensive vacations and like have this many friends. I'm like, why did I ever want to be like that? Like I'm so much more happier that I was never like that invested into that kind of lifestyle and like partying every single night and doing all of that stuff, but like trying to like transform myself into a completely different person. Like I'm so thankful that I never let it got to me that much. Do you guys know what I mean? Like,
and that's the thing too with you, Shayla, like you are such like a unique individual person. Like if you were any other way, like it just wouldn't be you, you know? And so it's just like, and it's, I've almost kind of taken like what you said, and sometimes I'm like, I want to be like that girl. I want to do that. And I realize like, I'm not going to be that. And I've turned that into, and I don't want to be that. And so with that, I've like, just like I feel like you've done, is we've made everything our own. Like, we've made our own personalities and own images out of it, which I think is the best thing to do.
And I will say, though, like, when I came to college, when I joined a sorority, like, I tried to do the whole, like, cookie cutter thing. Because at the time...
That's what you thought was, like, college was going to be like.
So, like, I do want to, like, make a point to say, like, if you are trying something new, and if you are doing what other people are doing because you think that that's what's going to work for you, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I definitely did it for a while. I think that we all did. And, like, you know, this like, styles and times are constantly changing. Like, I literally look back to what I even wore 2 years ago, and I was like, and I'm like,
I'm like disgusted now at what I wore 2 years ago.
And I'm like, I would never wear this now. Like, I have like my own unique style, but back then I really didn't. And, like, back then I kind of was, like, a little bit more timid and just went along with what everyone else was doing. And there's nothing wrong with that, because eventually I, like, found my own, and I found my own way, and I kind of made my own unique thing. Like, but I will say, like, there are plenty of other people out there who have the same taste as me, or who have a similar Instagram feed.
We're not, like, the most individual people. And
right.
Like you're saying...
Because we're constantly getting inspiration from other people.
Yeah.
But what's different is, like, I kind of add my own flair, and we all do. Like Amanda said it last night about my YouTube videos. Like, I post a lot of stuff on YouTube that a lot of other people are posting. But what makes it unique is that, like, I put, like, my own spin on, like, my editing, or, like, I make sure that my sense of humor or, like, my personality comes across, because that's what makes me unique, and that's what makes me feel more myself than ever.
And that's what makes people like it.
Yeah.
You know, people want to see, people can see a clothing review anywhere, but they want to see you do a clothing review.
Like, literally, people who first meet me, they have no idea that I'm as weird as I am. Like, literally, because if you just saw my Instagram, or if you just saw me on social media, like, you would think that I am, like, you know, just kind of a different person than I am. But, like, I literally will just kind of say things, like, I don't have, like, a lot of a filter, and I kind of just say whatever comes to my mind, and I say a lot of weird crap. And honestly,
you're very honest.
I felt the same way about Amanda. Like, the first time we met, genuinely, I did not know if we would be that close of friends, because I was like, you had just gotten done studying abroad. Like, I very much kind of, like, judged you from social media, which I know a lot of people have done for me. And I was
rude.
And I was like, she just got back from, like, all of this trips. And, like, when we met and had dinner, like, that's a lot of what we talked about, because you had just gotten done studying abroad, and I was, like, about to study abroad. And I was like, oh, I don't know, we have very different lifestyles. But then we started to get to know each other better, and I was like, shit, this girl is just as weird as I am.
Yeah. And I think that a big takeaway from all this, too, is, like, we're not saying, like, you have to be different. Like, you have to be super unique in the... If you want to be whatever
basically
you
what we're
be.
telling you is, like,
but I'm
don't
just saying,
care
don't,
so much.
Don't
like, it's your own
like,
life. Live your own life.
Don't feel like you need to be a certain way, and if that's making you unhappy trying to fit into this, stop it. But if that's making you happy doing that, then do it.
Like, do whatever makes you happy. If you are putting stuff out there, whether or not other people like it, if you are acting a certain way, whether or not people accept you, as long as you are happy at the end of the day with the person that you are and with who you are, that's all that matters.
That is all that matters.
And again, like we said,
T.
And the advice to that, like, kind of how we started, is that everything will change. Because
literally,
freshman year, when I rushed, that's what I wanted to do. And I was like the other girls in my sorority, and maybe I still am, who knows. I mean, I was doing that sorority stuff, and I loved it, and I felt like I fit in, and that's what I was doing. But then I changed, like everyone else does. People just change and grow and evolve, and that's normal, and just accept that. That you're gonna change.
And I will, like, touch on that. Like, it's okay to know when to let go. That would be kind of my, like, biggest piece of advice, and, like, kind of like a final thing I would say is, like, I literally think back to the person I was 4 years ago and who I am today, and I am a completely different person. But it's because I feel more myself than ever. Like, 4 years ago, I was in a relationship, and I was happy in that relationship, and I had like a close-knit group of friends, and if I'm being honest, I literally do not talk to any of those girls that I was friends with in high school anymore. And it's just because I've grown and I've changed, and I feel like our interests are not the same, and I don't feel like I'm the same person who was friends with them 4 years ago versus the person that I am today. And I feel such a disconnect from even the person that I dated back then, because he and I are not the same person. Like I'm not the same girl. Like I feel like I have found more of my own voice, and I feel like I now stick up for myself more so than ever, and I feel like just more proud of who I am because I know what I deserve, and I'm not afraid to like just kind of like remove myself from relationships if I feel like those relationships are not benefiting me. There are even friends that I've made in college who, ending college, I'm not really friends with them today, and that's just because people change, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you know,
let's see.
and it's true. And
I agree with that too, though, because I was telling you guys about this, but something made me upset the other day, and I was literally on the phone like sobbing to my mom, and I was just like, why is this still happening? Like, why are certain people acting like this? And you know, and again, I think it went back to the like, you know, why aren't I included, or why wasn't I there? Am I so like different? Why am I so different? I'm not, you know, I'm just the same. And I think that goes into even friends we've made in the past year or a couple years. Like, you could still grow, and like we've said all before, that's not saying like don't be friends with people anymore, but
just evaluate your
I don't know,
friendships.
things are good. My
Evaluate
point
the
is
people
that
who are
like
with you.
my point is that what we're saying, how like we've grown so much from the beginning to now of like college, that's gonna keep changing, and that's gonna happen through our lives. That's what my mom said. She's like, it happens all through life. She's like, you know, even when, you know, I was a young mom and like, you know, you go to like play dates and stuff, she's like, it still happens. Like, you're still gonna feel like, why am I friends with these people, or why am I doing this if I don't want to, and vice versa, and just like.
And you know, like a way that I've assessed my friendships is that I think to myself, and I think like, if I were to do something different, or if I were to wake up and decide that I want to try something new, or if I feel like, or if I feel like I'm changing, I think to myself, like, are these friendships going to grow and change with me? And that's like a big thing, is that I feel like the friendship that like the three of us have, we are very supportive of one another. Like we don't judge each other. Like we are very supportive of one another's decisions, and I feel like even 5 years from now, like we are going to continue to support each other and grow, and like, you know, and we're, the three of us are constantly evolving, but we're evolving together, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like I have other friendships where I felt like I was changing, but the relationship wasn't changing with me. And I kind of felt like I was suffocating. Like, I felt like for the sake of the friendship, or for even when I was like dating this guy, like I felt like I was having to like stick within this certain mold to make the relationship work, because I felt like I was growing and I was changing, and that was like a big reason why I got to be so unhappy, was because things were changing, but I like wasn't accepting that I needed to grow and change with the time period in my, like at that point in my life. Like, I was kind of stuck where a lot was happening in college, but I was still kind of stuck in high school, and I was and I felt comfortable with the relationships that I had in high school, and I was too scared to like kind of quote unquote like start over and like rebuild myself and evolve. But now I wish that I had done it sooner, and I'm so thankful that I did, because I feel like it's
very freeing.
Yeah, it's so freeing, and I feel like I've made even better friendships now, and like, you know, I am sad that like the friendships that I had a few years ago are not the friendships that I had today, because I thought that, you know, those people in my life were going to continue to be in my life, you know, forever. But
I mean,
you know,
it's life.
things change.
Like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
The more I listen
Things
to
change,
like
and
the four or the three of us talking about it, I'm like, the next 4 years are literally just going to be the exact same thing. Hopefully not.
It's going to be,
but like, people
more
change,
changing,
relationships change, shit happens, life happens. Like,
I think it also depends on how accepting you are of the people around you, because we're gonna keep changing even more. Like, you know,
like, it's not over.
You have to accept people for what they are and who they are, and you can't, you know, scrutinize them for it. And it all depends. Like, I want to keep the relationships I have with you guys, no matter how you guys change. As long as you're still a good person to me and the people around you, like, I'm gonna stay friends with you. And so again, it's not necessarily like we're all friends because we're the same and we branch out and we change. No. We just, I think that's a common bond that a lot of people have, is that, like,
we're just accepting.
Yeah. And, you know, it just, yeah.
That's like the thing, is that, like, I still have love for a lot of, like, past friendships and past relationships. Like, a lot of friendships or relationships that have ended, they haven't ended because there's been any, like, bad blood or anything that's happened. It's just that I feel like we no longer serve each other a purpose. And that's the thing. Like, I want what's best for them. And at the end of the day, like, I don't feel like I was serving them a purpose. I don't feel like I could be I didn't feel like I could be a good friend to them anymore. And I didn't feel like they could be the kind of friend that I needed now. And so, like, I still have love for them and I still wish them the best, but, like, I just feel like it was better for the both of us to, like, grow and, like, go our own separate ways and, like, just know what's best for you at the end of the day. And, like, you know, you are gonna have best friends, like, you're gonna have friends that have your back, but at the end of the day, like, what really matters is that you are happy with the reflection that's looking back at you in the mirror. Because if you don't feel like you're yourself, if you don't feel like you're your own person, then you're not going to be happy.
It's so true.
Talk to him.
Talk to him. I mean, my mom literally said to me a long time ago, she's like, you either grow with someone.
I feel like Oprah, and I'm like, you get a car, and you get a car.
God, I wish you guys could see us on the FaceTime call. It's ridiculous.
My mom said you either grow together or you grow apart.
And that's life, baby.
And I was so scared.
Amen, baby.
Amen.
And I was so scared when she told me about that, or said that to me. I was like, what? We're going to grow apart? And then I realized that's okay. And, like, also, too, to go back, another piece of advice is that, and I think we mentioned this in another, or I mentioned this in my solo episode or something, you don't need to throw away friends from high school. That's also not what we're saying. There are so many people that I do keep in contact with from high school. Even if it's just, like, me and one of my guy friends, we literally just send each other songs now and then. And he actually really, like, he likes the podcast too. And I said, like, really nice things about it. And so it's just relationships like that. That's great. We're not, like, you know, friends like we are, but I still have that relationship in my life. And, like, again, we weren't super close in high school, but, like, we've evolved and grown, and we've just, like, kept each other in each other's lives in, like, the slightest way, and that's good too.
Yeah.
Here's
Don't
the way of
throw
putting
people
it.
away.
People who are dragging you down, cut them off, get them out. Those are the people we're talking about. We're not talking
Shayla's
about...
like, let's get to the point.
Grab the scissors, cut the rope, like, let's go. But not the people who are just like, you guys are either, what your mom said, like, you're either growing together or growing apart. That's totally fine. But the people who are dragging you down, cut them out. That's it.
Yeah, don't
just keep that in mind, because there are those people when you start college and that they will drag you down and, like, will leave you out and just not be a good friend.
They want you to stay the same because they're not changing.
Exactly. So get rid of them. You don't need that in your life.
And, like, know when to fight for your relationships. Like, there is a time to let go, and there is a time to, like, keep fighting. Like, for example, like, I have a relationship right now where it's, like, a friend that I've had for a while, and I feel like we've lost contact and we've kind of grown apart, but, like, I don't feel like the relationship is over. Like, I don't feel like it's a relationship that I want to, like, completely cut out of my life, but I feel like it's reached a point to where I need to, like, sit down and actually have a conversation with her and, like, tell her how I'm feeling. So, like, you need to know, like, that like, you need to express your feelings, like, and I am always, like, talking myself out of situations because I'm always like, oh, well, this isn't that big of a deal. It's not going to matter to them. If they are a true friend, what matters to you should matter to them. So if you're going to sit down and tell your friend, like, I feel like we're growing apart, I don't feel like we're in a good place, like, then they should receive that, and hopefully you guys are able to make some sort of adjustment and repair the
Or at least be
relationship.
cordial.
Yeah. Like if you approach your friend and like you express this concern and nothing changes, then that might be the time to think, okay, is this relationship actually serving a good purpose in my life?
You have to put in equal efforts too.
Yeah, you have to
If you put in the
equal
effort to try and mend something with someone and they don't reciprocate, then you're like, you know what? I guess it's just not meant to be. And I've had, unfortunately, I hate to say that one of my best friends in the whole entire world, I feel like we did go through a period of where we weren't that close. But again, we were both just kind of growing in different ways and being different people at the time. But then at the end of the day, we're always going to be
it
best
happens.
Friends. And so we kind of came back at one point and we were just like, what was going on back there? Like you know, we were changing, but like deep down to the root, this is how we are with each other, and nothing's going to change that. And I think sometimes there's just like a period of like a pause with a friend, and that's okay too, where you kind of just do your own thing, figure yourself out, make mistakes, but at the end of the day, if you do want to keep this relationship with that person, you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
of course.
And a lot of the time, like when you have a conversation with a friend, if they're a good friend, you know, they're not doing it purposefully. Like they're not trying to do this to you in a spiteful way. A lot of the time, like when you express a feeling with someone, they don't even know that you feel this way.
Like, I didn't even know you were feeling that way.
Right.
Or like, you know.
So it is important, I will say, like sooner rather than later, like have what could be an awkward conversation, but it's going to save you a lot of hurt in the long run instead of just continuing to let it drag out. But if you feel like once you've addressed the situation and it's not improving, then that might be a time to reassess and really determine if it's worth having this person in your life or not.
And I think to a certain degree too, like, because I know your approach is always like, let's tackle this head on, let's talk about it, let's go. And my approach is more so like, let's just let it happen, let's see
let it run its course.
Comes in. So I think there's a happy medium. I don't think you should ignore problems, but I think, you know, you should talk about them. And also at some point, like if you've put in effort, then just let the rest kind of take the reins and see what happens. Try not to force anything to happen.
Jesus, take
oh my God,
wheel.
stop.
Exactly.
So basically to
Hannah's
recap,
a really good singer.
Take
Did you
it
guys
from
know that?
my hands.
Whoa.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Let's go
Yeah,
on.
I'm here for one night and one night only.
And one night
God.
only. Let's put emphasis on that. But so basically to recap on what we're saying to our past selves, our baby selves going into college. Make friends. Focus on yourself.
Don't
Grow
be a
little
loser.
bit.
No.
Focus on your schoolwork. And, you know, maybe get a job here and there. You'll make some great friends.
Yeah, you'll make a little bit. You'll keep your time.
Yeah, just remember,
and
literally, life happens, dude. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. And, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than literally go with
happens.
life.
Everything happens for a reason. You're continuing to grow. Like every single day, I feel like I'm learning something new about myself. Like even though college is over, even though Amanda and I have graduated, like I feel like I'm going to continue to learn and I'm going to continue to grow.
And I hope so.
Y'all,
Yeah,
You know, like if everyone just stopped after college, like as much as we think we know now, in another 4 years, we're gonna be like, wow, I know so much more.
Yeah, like at 18, I thought I had it all figured out. I thought that I was going to marry the guy that I was dating. I thought that the friends that I had in high school were going to be bridesmaids in my wedding. Like, I thought that literally so much was going to happen that isn't going to happen.
Sweetie, life said,
And-
you young,
Life,
naive
we
child.
made
I
plans
know.
and life laughed
And
at us.
now I'm about to be 22 and I've learned so much more. But, you know, when I'm 25, 26, I'm going to look back and think, wow, when I was 22, I really did not know as much as I thought I did.
Word.
So we're continuing to evolve. We're continuing to grow. But I think the biggest takeaway that I've had from college is that I'm no longer scared of what's to come. I'm more excited. And even though it could be scary and even though it can feel uncomfortable at times, like I know that it's worth it in the long run and that I'm just ultimately going to end up, you know, even happier.
And it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like the biggest thing is it's going to be okay. And I was always so scared of change and scared of the future, and now I'm realizing I'm not. Same thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the more you guys talk about the future, the more emo I get. Okay, wait, can I get a little high five in there?
High five.
A little virtual high five.
The more you guys keep talking about the future, the more emo I keep getting, because you guys are literally moving out of Athens in at the end of the summer, and I have like some friends here and there, but like you guys are like my group of friends.
I feel like, you know, I can always tell when I'm gonna lose touch with certain people, but I genuinely feel like I'm not gonna lose touch with you guys. Like y'all.
Well, hopefully now we got this podcast.
I was about to say
this will hold our friendship.
Whether you guys like it or not, I'm not doing this alone.
I know this will like hold our friendship accountable for sure, but genuinely, like, you guys have been there for me through so much. Like, I feel like, you know, 5 years from now, we're still going to be just as close, hopefully.
Hell
so
yeah.
We better be. And
I guess
I will say, as much as you're scared of like us leaving and stuff like that,
I'm gonna be coming back, baby.
You better.
I never felt like we never felt like we got the proper send off.
Well, and then the thing too is that in my like last 2 years of college or whatever is when I really did make the best relationship. So clearly we're gonna be on top always. Better. But it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
naturally.
I know.
Naturally, and you're probably gonna meet so many more people in this last year, and you're gonna be like, why did I just now meet you? It's gonna be so hard to leave.
Which I'm excited
and that's,
for.
I think, what we're
am.
feeling.
It's just like, thank God. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Having to come back in October, I get you guys like one more round, one more fun weekend. You're not gone too
Shayla,
soon.
we'll be seeing lots of each other. Don't worry. When me and Hannah move to New York, you'll visit.
Oh, I'm gonna be moving in shortly after. Trust me. We'll be living in a cute little apartment.
I think with that being said,
I feel like this was one of our like really insightful episodes, and I mean, I really liked it. I hope you guys like what we had to say, and you know, we're gonna keep coming at you guys with some more fun topics. So yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Thank you for listening if you did.
Yeah, thank you for listening if you did. As always, reach out to us personally if you have any recommendations or constructive criticism, and also follow us on Instagram if you are not. As always, thanks for listening.
Bye guys.
Bye everyone.